Well, hello and welcome to all of our viewers around the world. I'm Fiona Lang-Sharp, IBCLC Director of Communications and MC here at Gold Learning. Today, I have a very special guest here. Zainab Yate is with us and part of our ethics package this year. Welcome. It's so good to have you here today, Zainab. Thank you for joining me.
Thank you so much. I'm privileged, really.
Well, this was a really, for me, I already got to listen to the presentation. I have to confess, I have to tell the viewers because I'm a little bit excited about it. And I realized how geeky I was when I was listening to you. But let's give folks an idea of what you're talking about. Navigating the future, bioethical challenges in anticipated integration of AI in lactation and breastfeeding services. So thank you so much again, for being part of our new ethics package, which of course everybody has to get their eCerts in when they're
Yeah.
certifying as an IBCLC, really, really important. And this, I don't think that anyone's going to be disappointed at all because AI, of course, is all over the news. We want to know kind of what's happening.
Mm.
What does it really look like? I know that there's some anticipation of folks who might be fearful of it. Other people are excited. There's sort of this spectrum right now of, utilizing it. So when you saw this coming up, so you've been watching, obviously, AI being produced and
Yeah.
it's been used for quite some time, but mainstream, it's just kind of landed in the last couple of years or so. And we're seeing it just crop up everywhere on social media and websites and such. Tell me, tell me a little bit about your spidey senses, I guess, when you first started seeing this come about. What kind of what was coming to your mind? Were you thinking, yay, I can use it in my data research? Or you were thinking,
Oh.
nay, this is going to be a crazy, onslaught of, negativity. Tell me a little bit about
Uh,
your stance.
I think that I didn't realize the utter impact that it has already made and that I'm behind the curve. So we saw like 2 years ago, I saw my first AI research project in terms of a clinical application, and I read
Right.
the protocol with some interest. I wasn't really super impressed. And then last year, I saw 17 research protocols. So there's a big jump. And then
Sure.
this year, every single month, we're
Hmm.
reviewing AI applications for clinical intervention or a clinical application with AI. So that every month that's a big jump. Um,
Yes.
and so obviously in terms of leveling up, we've had to
Hmm.
do a lot. I've had to do a lot at the Health Research Authority to make sure I'm covering all bases in terms of ethical considerations for the use of AI applications, or even just the building of AI applications. And really, I have to be honest, I've been blown away about some of the applications. I saw a really, really innovative, very promising project in the elderly community who have been discharged from hospital using lots of different AI applications together in one go. And if we can get anything like what they're doing in the lactation and breastfeeding world, I mean, really, for you lot, for the clinicians who are working so hard and got their, knuckles to the grind all the time, I think it's going to be a game changer for mothers, parents, and babies. I think again, if you can have AI on your handsets, having that knowledge here at your
Hmm.
fingertips, if with a caveat that if it is written with the expertise of an IBCLC along every step of the way, and the data input is with the expertise of an IBCLC or the IBCLC themselves, I think it's going to be really, really useful. Really,
Mm.
really useful. Yeah.
Yeah, and I can see that you actually took us through and of course folks will see all this, but Zinop took us through some of the apps that are available freely on the internet right now, just to kind of get a bit of a sort of a test point of what is the information when you ask a certain question in lactation, what is it throwing back? So if parents go to these apps, what is it looking like? And your results were a little bit varied, right? So I think that there is ongoing that needs to happen. I thought it was really interesting because you looked at, I've been looking at a lot of the knowledge base. You looked at picture and video base as well, which of course is very prevalent. And it was great to see that. So, I'm not going to spoil everything, for our viewers listening in right now. You have to go and listen, to the presentation. And I think by far, this is going to be one of the most important presentations that folks have to listen to this year, because this will give you a baseline, I think, on, right, in terms of what's out there. I know that you would love to have, you could have lectured all weekend, and I didn't want to stop you really talking about this topic, but I think that this is a really great, introduction to what is out there, what's happening, and what you need to do next personally in your practice. Would you feel that that's kind of where we're at right now with your presentation, Zainab?
I'd say 100% you're right. I don't want to say that it goes into any level of expertise or detail because it really doesn't. I could have spent that whole over an hour talking on just nuanced algorithmic persuasions and the need for feedback loops and sort of what do they call it, algorithmic vigilance, and super interesting research that's happening about making sure AI is diverse,
Mm,
ethically fair, and not maximizing biases that can occur in healthcare. And that is going to be so important for you, for the delegates, with your level of expertise, knowing those nuances, you're going to be called on. And I'm sure people listening to this in the future, not too distant future even, you're going to be called on for your expertise. And I hope that it will be those listening to Gold that will be the ones that are involved in the process, because it can be a lifetime work from now on. Really, we're looking at that. It's not just about, let's build an AI app for lactation and then roll it out. No, we're looking at monitoring, evaluation, real world setting, fit for purpose, preventing harm, and ensuring the accuracy of that. So this talk is going to give you the level, landscape, and base level information that you're going to need about what we're doing right now, where we're at in the
hmm
world right now. So what we cover in the beginning of the talk is what I think a lot of the clients or patients that come to you will be using. If they're using AI, they're going to go on use these sort of things. And then when we delve deeper into the talk, it's going into the complexities of actual AI health modeling and what could be seen in AI, in the AI landscape for lactation. So
Right.
there's sort of different. There's going to be the public level in engagement with AI apps, and then there's going to be us, like
Yeah.
you as in the healthcare professionals, and how that's rolling out in your practice in the hospital setting, and in terms of really complex and fascinating and wonderful and amazing abilities that are going to sort of spur out of um, this field.
Yeah, absolutely. And anyone that knows me or has read my bio recently, I will preface it with I am a little bit biased because I am using AI a lot. And I feel like, I've got a fairly decent foundation in this. So I was trying to think of ways that, why would you want to listen to this presentation? Is it actually helpful? And that is the argument right there, is that our parents are going to be using it. And if they, very soon, if they haven't used it already, because they're going to be researching in their pregnancy, postpartum, it's probably going to be a bit of a go-to, because there's plenty of apps out there, not just the big ones that you might have seen on the headlines, but even some lactation apps as well that are using it. So just know that this knowledge, this foundation and knowledge is going to be so important, superior, really. There's nothing like this out there. So just know that it's exciting to be able to have and house this type of presentation with Zainab, who really knows her stuff. So I'm really super excited. So the parents are going to be using it. I want to talk briefly about some of the things that we're seeing in healthcare, because we are seeing a big uptake generally in healthcare. You mentioned, geriatric, elderly, but it's also being used in many areas of healthcare for diagnoses, for example. These are some of the potentially some of the really innovative and great things that we're going to be seeing in the future. Zainab, can you share any insight of what you've seen again, just in general, what we're going to see in healthcare?
Oh, you're going to be blown away. I'm telling you, you're going to be blown away. Some proprietary research I'm not able to disclose. Some of the research protocols I've been reading this last week, this last month, that they will be coming to market. They will 100% be coming to market. Others are already on the market. Ultrasound at the bedside. Fascinating, highly advanced, super accurate ultrasound at the bedside anywhere in
Mm,
the world. We're going to be looking at having that available to patients, and not just for doctors or specialists who've taken the course to be able to interpret ultrasound images. You're going to be able to take a course and do it yourself. So I personally would envisage in not too distant future that IBCLCs will be able to take part in looking at other areas of their patients, their mother's health that apply to breastfeeding and lactation, and that can help them in their assessment. So another one that was really amazing and being used in lots of different areas at the moment is AI voice recognition for
mm,
detecting depression. This is something that's now well established. There's a lot of literature behind it. Just having the AI app in the background, listening to the voice of an individual and having a high level of accuracy to detect depression is going to be really important in any clinical settings. We know how depression affects breastfeeding. We know how depression affects the ability to make decisions, and even access healthcare. It can prevent you from doing that. There's honestly, there's so many. I've seen a study on, they're looking at AI biomarkers for assessing risks of inflammation and mastitis. So
right.
imagine that you could
Yeah.
sort of predict the possibility of getting mastitis, all that pain that mothers feel,
Yeah.
unnecessary pain that could be prevented, sort of this early detection systems. I think as somebody who's been through the healthcare system since 6 months old, since I got polio,
Right.
I see this as I'm really for it, like you. I'm really
Yeah.
for it. I don't use AI yet. I
Right.
don't use
We
it.
were talking
I
about
know it's
that.
coming.
Yeah.
I know you do, and I
Yeah.
believe that it's coming. It's electricity. It's going to be like electricity. You
Yeah.
just turn it on, everybody uses it, you don't even think about it. That's what it's going to be.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much. Thanks for your insight. I really appreciate it. I know you and I could chat all day, but we want folks to have an opportunity to come and listen to this presentation, of course. And it is part of our ethics packets this year, Navigating the Future, Bioethical Challenges in Anticipated Integration of AI in Lactation and Breastfeeding Services. Thank you so much, Ina, for being with me here today. It's been my pleasure hosting you. I'm excited to hear what folks have to say, of course. And I will look forward to seeing many of you online. Check out the website right now at goldlearning.com. You can find not only Zainab's presentation, but all the others in our ethics series. We'll look forward to seeing you all very soon. Bye bye for now, everyone.